What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Deck Tech. Today we're going to do a wild deck. I know I don't do a lot of wild deck techs, but it's simply because I don't play wild as often as I play standard. But today, something new, something fun. I tried to record it on Wednesday because I want to do Wild Wednesdays, but my freaking laptop is just so crazy right now. But anyway, this is a OTK Druid deck, and I know if you look at the list right now, you see it. It's kind of like all over the place. There's a bunch of early game cards, there's a bunch of late game cards. What is happening in this deck, right? What is really going on? And I'm gonna break it down for you really quickly. If you want to copy the deck, you just look at the description. You'll see the copy code right there. You can enter that in, make the deck immediately. You don't have to worry about going back and forth to put the cards in. Let's talk about the deck. So first of all, this is good versus very slow decks because it has an OTK combo that you can reach very quickly because of the ramp. So that OTK is Aviana into KUN the Forgotten King, refresh 10 mana crystals, then you play Malygos, put your opponent at 15, and hit him with the double swipe for 16 damage, right? Win the game. This won't always be the game plan though, right? That OTK is awesome, and it's great to pull off. It feels great, but it's not the only way this deck wins. It wins by a number of different things, but that tempo is a huge part of why the deck is really good, right? Against aggressive decks, all you have to do is stall the board until you drop big guys like these, and then your opponent just can't deal with this, and they can't deal with the card advantage of ultimate infestation and the ultimate tempo and value that you get in the long run, right? And you'll see these as we play. This particular list is cool because what it does is the early game is full of tokens, Enchanted Raven, Living Roots, Druid of the Swarm, Creepers, you know, just stuff that puts a really resilient board that goes wide. Because what you want to do is you want to drop these early game creatures and get a Pilfered Power with 2 or more creatures on the board. Because basically, if you get a Pilfered Power off of a haunted creeper that died, then you are basically playing Nourish for 3, which is killer. Okay, and there are a lot of these small kinds of combos that happen, ultimately leading you to this mid game where you're just really strong. The other strong card here is Hemet. You'll notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, close to 60% of the deck, right, costs 3 or less. So when Hemet comes in, it gets rid of all of that shit, and all you have left are OTK combo pieces or value, and it's big because once Hemet comes down, there's a chance that you have 2 or more of these more expensive cards left in your hand, and usually that means your ultimate infestations are going to draw you the rest of the deck if you ever play an ultimate infestation after a Hemet, and that's big because you can imagine this: you have 5 cards left in your deck, or you play Hemet, you end up with 5 cards left in your deck. You play UI, you draw all 5 cards. That means it is guaranteed that you have the combo in hand, and you combo and win, right? And there's just a lot of small things like that, but I don't want to bore you with the semantics. I know you want to see it in action. So let's try it out. Let's just go play. Let's just try it. Now, bear in mind, guys, that I am only rank... What rank am I in Wild? I don't even know. I'm only rank 17 in Wild. Keep that in mind, okay? But I don't play this format a lot, right? So, you know, actually yesterday is the first time I've actually played any Wild this season. So, you know, don't be surprised if our opponents aren't the craziest, right? Let's just get right into action. Let's try to play it out. See how we do. And let me pull up the deck list for you in game so that you guys can follow along. It is a pretty fun deck. Like, I only played it for, like, I don't know, a handful of games yesterday, and I'll tell you what, it's fun. Like, and it's cool. It reminds me a lot of classic Magic decks like Doomsday, Fact or Fiction. If you played Magic the Gathering, like, you'll be familiar with those types of cards. And that's what Hemet is kind of like. You know, it kind of just drops, it thins your deck of all the extra stuff that you may not need and just puts you into gas, right? Now, we're going to assume that our opponent is playing Pirate Warrior, and that's going to be a relatively tough matchup for us, right? We want to we kind of want to queue into priests, right? We don't want to queue into hunters or pirate warriors. But whatever, let's try it out, okay? So we're going to keep, in this matchup, we want to keep cheap cards, right? And this is fine. Oh, a pilfered power, that's nice. So I have a pilfered power out there. I guess this really hinges upon what happens on this turn. I might get greedy and play the double roots and just put 4 creatures on the board, because then I'll get a really big pilfered power the next turn, assuming he doesn't. Yeah, because he's playing pirate warrior, right? Some type of pirate list. So we are good here. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go wide on the board. We're going wide. Now this is like, okay, great. I'm gonna end up with a shitload of mana, but it's not necessarily the best situation. We still need cards in our hand, right? So we need to draw into the Nourish. What's he got going on? Armor up. Armor up. That's interesting. Armor up. That is something else. Huh? That's weird. What a weird play. So boom. Now we're gonna go from 3 to 7, and that's huge. That is huge, guys. That is huge. And that trade might have not been necessary, but we'll be okay with that. Another big card is Curator. Let's talk a little bit about Curator. Curator is good. It does 3 things. Draws you a Druid of the Swarm or a Haunted Creeper. It draws you Sir Finley. It draws you one of your 2 dragons. So keep that in mind when you have a full hand. Okay? Keep that thing in mind. There's a chance that you might overdraw. In this situation, we're not going to overdraw. Now, I had the opportunity here to play either Nourish or the Curator, and I chose the Curator for a number of reasons. I chose the Curator, one, because it's going to fight the board better than playing Nourish. There's no guarantee that I get a strong enough creature on the board with the remaining 3 mana. And number 2, because I know for a fact what it'll draw out of my deck. If I had played Nourish, there's a chance I would have drawn out the same cards. And if I drew out the same cards, it would have weakened the Curator later. So, in this situation, I played a Curator first, since I know exactly what it'll pull for me, and then I play the rest later, or the Nourish later, right? So that's the game plan here. We're at 9 mana. Here's a general rule of thumb. If you have very little mana, but a lot of cards in your hand, you play your Nourish's Ramp. If you have a lot of mana, and then you just play Nourish's Draw. Real simple. Real simple. Now this is a pretty big thing. This is, like, remember I said there's some matchups where you don't really have to. Actually, let me think about how I want to do this. I'm not even sure if I even want to play the Malygos right here. Fuck it, we're doing it. Malygos is such a fucking big threat, like, we're just gonna drop him on the board. Like, Malygos, he's part of the combo, the OTK combo, right? But this is a matchup where we don't win with the OTK. We win this matchup by just denying him the ability to control a board of value. Like, his cards are all, 1 to 3 casting cards that are faster, and my cards are all just end game gas or early game swarm, right? So I just want to play my end game gas because I know he's not going to be able to deal with it. He's going wide. He's going wide. Like, here is where I want, like, a Wrath or a Swipe. I want a way to deal with this board quickly. Okay, there's a Wrath. That's a good thing. So let's play this first. We'll draw 3 cards. Let's see what we get. If we draw a Swipe, we kind of end the game here. Do not draw a Swipe. So we're going to have to... Let's hit something for that. Okay, let's hit this, because this guy gets a buffer, right? Okay, sure. I know I'm going to kill this. We'll do that. We'll do this, and now my opponent has no execute, so he has to come up with 8 damage. This is actually interesting. We'll just take the main shield power. So he has to come up with 8 damage in order to beat the Malygos. And if the Malygos eats 8 damage, that means my face doesn't eat 8 damage. And that's good. And this is how you win versus the aggressive decks. You don't be greedy for the OTK combo. You just get your value on the board. Right? Because this is big. Like, he's going to have to inevitably deal with the Malygos. He's going to have to. Like, I mean, gosh, we could even draw if we wanted to. Although, man, I really think that might be too crazy. All right, okay, get this. Kill this off. Man, and now things are looking so good. Look at our board. Like, look at our hand. That's ridiculous. Yeah, like he's forced to kill the Malygos. He knows he has to kill it. And like, honestly, now we can just tempo him out. So that's what we're gonna do. Just put him at 15. Because he has to deal with this. He has to kill the Alextraza. He has no execute. Like, what's he gonna do, right? He's gonna have to swing at it with the face plus a charge, which is gonna save us, you know, anywhere between 8 to 10 damage, and it's gonna put him in range of being killed, right? Those are good. Those are good things. That's just not a just. See, yeah, like he had to do it. Like, how crazy is that? Like, see what he had to waste to get there. And guys, you know, one thing I always say is, if you want to be the max level BM, you always kill your opponent with UI, because you obviously want the animation to play out so they can't quit. You know? Oh, I guess they changed it. I guess you can kill it now. Anyway, whatever. That's one game. Let's try another one. It's a deck. It's pretty fun, right? To be fair, our opponent didn't really have a very fine-tuned pirate warrior list, right? But a lot of that success was not saving for the OTK, right? It was just playing those cards on tempo. I mean, dude, if you go from 3 mana to 8 mana, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Ramp is very strong. Druid is very strong. Druid is like one of the strongest decks right now, guys. Or strongest classes right now. I know Rogue is strong. I know Highlander Priest is a crazy kind of thing. But really, it's about Druid. Druid's where it's at. Okay, we're playing a Priest, so we can actually play a little slower. I like the ramp option, so I'm going to get rid of this and keep this. I'm assuming that he's playing some slower Priest deck, okay? That's why I'm keeping the Nourish, all right? It's not always a keep, guys. It's not always a keep. If this were a warrior or something, I would definitely throw away the Nourish. I would keep this Druid of Swarm, though. I think one of the good things about this deck, it really, your opponent kind of is confused about what you're doing. Now we're gonna think. Let's look at this and think about it sequentially. Okay, I know I want to play the power on 3. I want to play this on 3, and I know I'm gonna drop one of these 2 on 2. So I might as well use the coin now to get 1 out. Okay, so that way, you know, I have a follow-up 2 turn, I have a follow-up 3 turn. This is, I'm not, see, I can make these kinds of strategy decisions without having my opponent play anything yet. You know what I mean? Like, I can play around that. Okay, so this one is actually interesting. I'm gonna get greedy. We're gonna get greedy. Fuck it. Like that might be a mistake, guys. That I could have probably played the Druid of the Swarm. I don't know yet. May have been a mistake. I'm getting greedy there. Hmm. Okay, this is good. Nah, it worked out the way we thought it was gonna work out, and that's great for us. Boom. And guys, now we got 7 mana next turn. Like that is crazy. That is relevant. Now this is not a threat, but my 1/1s are too vulnerable to too many things. Spirit Lash, Wild Pyro. There are things he can do. So I'm gonna hedge my bets and just clear the board and not have to worry about the AoE. So now, guys, this is turn 4. On my turn 5 or turn 4, I will have 7 mana. So I will have a 3 mana lead on my opponent. That's going to be big. And it's going to be bigger than you think for a number of reasons. Number one, not only do I have a 3 mana lead on him now, I have a 3 mana lead on him for the next 5 turns, right? So 3 times 5, that's 15 mana. So over the course of the next 5 turns, I will have a advantage of 15 more mana than my opponent. And that is why ramp is so strong. Now remember, the problem with ramp is this. Let me get my thoughts together before I say this shit. The problem with ramp is this. When you use ramp, you use a card to have more mana in the future. This is inherently difficult because you can ramp a lot of mana but have no cards in hand. But that means nothing once you play Ultimate Infestation, because the cards you lost, you get it all back with tempo. That is crazy. Okay, so here I'm going to take the mana crystals because, hey, I just need more mana crystals. And I'm going to play this 2-drop to use up my mana correctly. Oh man, we can play more 2-drops. Let's do it. Let's play it all out. Fuck it. Let's draw more cards. We want to dig. We want to find Hemet. We want to find combo pieces. I actually maybe should have played the Enchanted Raven, but great. Boom. So we know what he's on. We know what he's on. So he's not going to have more than 30 life, right? We know this. Okay. 2 things. We're going to talk about strategy and we're going to talk about UI right now, okay? So we know he's not going to have more than 30 life, right? He's not playing the Amara, the Warden, whatever. 30 life that's his max life. He's not going to get armor. So we know that OTK is going to be the route we're going to take. So now that we know that, we know we're going to save our combo pieces, right? So I likely want to play UI here, and I just got to make sure that I don't overdraw. So I have 5 cards in hand. I'll have 4 cards. I'll draw 5. I'll have 9. Correct, right? So boom, we're going to throw that. Let's draw some gas. Let's see what we get. And there we go. We got one more combo piece. And in this situation, I'm not really afraid of what kind of creatures he puts on the board. I'm just afraid of him finding Anduin and bursting me down. So I need to dig deeper. So the Wraths I'm going to use aggressively. I'm going to use it to draw a card, hopefully on his minions, but if not, then on my minions, just because I need to get deeper in the deck now, okay? That is what we're doing, boys and girls. But it's very important right now that I do not overdraw. That is a big, big thing. Oh, this is good. This is a good thing. Now we got a target for this. Things are looking okay. Right? Hemet. Huge. So, remember what Hemet does? Gets rid of all that extra bullshit. So now my deck is down to 6 cards. I've inherently drawn all the shitty stuff, or taken all the shitty stuff, thinned it out of my deck. Now, if I draw a UI, I can draw out my entire deck. I'll win right on the spot. And at this point, I just want to kind of free up my hand a bit, so we're going to play a couple of these guys out. So now I have 7 cards in hand. This is good. If he tries to play a Cold Light Oracle, I'm not going to overdraw. This is good. This is looking nice. So remember what's gone now. Finley is gone. All our beasts are gone. So if we play Curator, it'll actually draw us nothing right now, since there's nothing left to draw. Right? There's no dragons, there's no beasts, nothing. How many cards we got left in the deck? We have 5 cards left in the deck. All right, so we still got a slow play. Oh, actually, we even got the Excavated Evil in our deck. I don't like that. Let's get this. Let's draw a little deeper. Nourish. Okay, I have 7. I have 6, and I'll be at 9, right? Alright, draw 3 cards. We'll be at 9 cards. And there we go. We have all the combo pieces. GG, good game, we win. Right? Because we have it. There's a combo. Aviana KUN, Refresher Mana Crystals, Malygos, Alextraza, double swipe. Game over. 10 mana. Right? And we just got to make sure that we have room to play the 3 creatures. Yes, we do. We only have 2. You need to have at least 3 slots. So that means a max of 4 creatures on the board. Ooh, actually, wow. Well, maybe smarter than I thought. Do we go for it? He's not gonna die. He won't be dead. Man. He won't be dead. I think we try it anyway. Close. I guess the good thing you can take away from this is the biggest heal he can get is off of Greater Healing Potion. And if he uses Greater Healing Potion, he still does not have enough mana to deal with the entire board. Which means we'll be able to find 12 damage at least, right? Because or 5 damage, maybe more. So that's big. So that's the OTK. You see how that pretty much the armor from the hero power did save him. I should have thought about the armor and I did not. Dumb me. If he kills me here, that would be... Ooh, that would hurt. Wow, he might kill me here. Oh, that hits both, right? So... I went for it. Well played. I actually don't know what happens if you UI right now. Like, I don't know if I end up burning for the draw. I'm assuming not. But there you go, guys. There's an OTK Hemet Pilfered Power Druid. I don't know what we're calling this deck right now. I didn't come up with this deck. Saw this somewhere online, Reddit or something. But it's cool. It's pretty strong. What do you guys think? Do you guys like that deck? It's pretty cool. I could see definitely a more control-based route, or maybe not running Pilfered Power, running different types of ramp like Wild Growth or something, or Jade Blossom. I don't know. What do you guys think? Once again, thank you for watching. Always like, comment, subscribe. I am anxious and ready and willing to give you more Hearthstone content. So thanks for tuning in, guys.